Hi guys. Um, hope you guys can hear me. But just know it has come to my attention that there's like some type of war on, and I hate to say it, but there is like a war on like black women or like intelligent women. Um, and I've seen this energy play out before. And you could be an intelligent man, a black man, considered black. What it doesn't really matter what your race is, but to a certain degree it does. But there is some type of like energy or entity that I feel like a lot of people when we were young, those who done shadow work, I just heard INFJ. If you're INFJ or empath, you guys get what I'm talking about. You've done a lot of shadow work to where you fought off these demonic entities, narcissism, I believe is an entity, certain mental illnesses, I believe they're actually um, entities that if one does not do shadow work and like really tap into like their spiritual nature and learn about astrology, learn about themselves, they subconsciously pick up from others or it gets rubbed off from others or they mentally create them because they cannot process certain spiritual knowledge or be aware in a spiritual way of like what's going on with them in real life and like how that relates to transits and their moods and their energy and their thoughts and their feelings. Like the waters are getting really murky. I heard Mercury, so this could all have something to do with Mercury being in Aries still, I believe. Let me check. Excuse me. But yeah, the waters are getting really murky. I believe this is because there's a lot of people not willing to do shadow work, not willing to look at themselves, not willing to address their issues. You could be a psychologist of some sort, a psychiatrist. I know I have therapists who listen to me because the work I do can actually be like healing and insightful and accurate as fuck. And I've been thinking myself going to school for this type of work, for like more like child development stuff. But yeah, I'm sorry I had to hit this joint because this message was like really deep. It's come to my awareness though that there really is. I believe this is Mental Health Awareness Month, anyways. Um, but there really is like some real psychopaths out here, some real demonic people out here. And this is no shade to my people who just, you have been diagnosed with something or you have gone to therapy and realized like, damn, you have certain toxic tendencies and shit you have to work on, right? This is not a slap in the face to the individuals who are doing the work. This is a message to warn you about the people who truly do not give a fuck about doing spiritual hygiene or mental hygiene. So thus, because they are unwilling to look in the mirror and face their shit, they projected their shit onto everyone else around them. And damn sure they're beyond their inner child issues, their mental issues, their emotional issues, their baggage. My little sister and the kids, they call it emotional dumping. Okay, like trauma dumping. I feel like a lot of you guys have been going through that with different people. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry you've been dealing with that. If you have, or people just expecting you to like mind read them, or like even just because you're an intuitive, maybe you are a reader, maybe you're just psychic as fuck, and people can kind of pick that up off of your energy that you're very spiritually aware, and so they psychically drain you and expect you to show up in ways that the average individual doesn't have to, but for some reason you have to, which is really fucked up. So I see basically these projections backfiring. and you being liberated, if you were called crazy, if you were called bipolar, if this was all going on behind the scenes for a lot of y'all, I'm so sorry you had to experience this. Could have been a secret smear pain going on behind y'all back, unbeknownst to you, that there's something wrong with you mentally, or you have schizophrenia or some craziness. And even if you do, um, I'm sorry that, when people say, oh, he'll go get help, they don't actually mean it. Like when a person is hurting or sick, people just say that person's sick. They don't help them. You know what I'm saying? They don't really care or give a fuck to like really inquire, understand what's wrong with them. They just say something's wrong with them instead of being like, well, let's help this person because something is wrong with them, right? Now, there is a certain level to a lot of the spiritual work that we do where it's like, this is why I go so hard on my other channel about inner child healing, where it's really not your responsibility. And so on this channel, I'm posting probably this video today. If not, it'll be in the ethers, because I need you guys to know it's all projections and there is nothing wrong with you. Yeah, and you're not a bad person, even if you do have some type of mental health disorder, or illness. The people that is something truly wrong with them is the people who are refusing to get help, refusing to look at their mental health, refusing to um, go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or whatever the fuck they need for them to not just spiritually be enlightened on what's going on with them, but also mentally. The people who are avoiding therapy, shadow work, journaling, meditation, astrology, getting to know oneself, that's the people with the real problem here, not the people who they told you, oh, you're depressed and now you have to take some kind of like medications or something. I would recommend like you guys still look for holistic options that could help guide you. If you feel like you're not ready or you don't really want to take any kind of medication, I would definitely recommend holistic medicine and healing practices. And that usually works for a lot of people because this spirituality stuff can get really deep, and sometimes certain spiritual awakenings can really hurt some people. But I haven't even really pulled out any cards yet, and I just feel like it's because this message is so deep. And I was talking about something about a black woman, or depending on your nationality, this could be a collective thing going on where certain people who represent a certain background are being targeted, or this can just be like a real thing because it is, I believe, Mental Health Awareness Month because it's May. And so everybody's kind of being forced to look at what's on, the schedule, the collective schedule, to be aware of, whether that was forced on the schedule and we really wanted that to be on the schedule, or Spirit's just making us sticky note this to make sure that we're all checking in, with a therapist, with ourselves, with our friends and family, with God, and just making sure we're like, hey, are you truly okay, or are you truly all right? If not, okay, let's go get some help. Okay, or let's separate from these people and things that make you have an issue all the damn time, or basically causing you to suffer silently. Which brings me around to where we're at in this reading. It's really come to my attention that some of you guys are really dealing with some manipulated people who for so long have projected onto you their mental health issues. You've been the one healing, you've been the one going to therapy, you've been the one trying your hardest to do better, to heal. And it almost kind of feels like a really scary message, but it's not. I think mental health is scary for those, once again, looking into their mental health, looking into the psychology of why they act and do the things they do. I think that's scary for people who refuse to look in the mirror because they are getting away with profiting off of your pain, their own pain. They're getting attention for not healing. While you guys, a lot of y'all, you can even see by the numbers on my channel, we don't get attention because we are healing, because we are trying to do the work, because we are looking in the mirror. So backwards. So I guess it's just like a message for my real healers. Like I'm supposed to just give you guys some love, maybe not even any cards, and just say it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. Um, you don't need a million. I'm not a doctor, but I don't think you need a million readings to watch anymore or a million doctors you need to go to figure out what's wrong with you. Because just being in that kind of space, they're going to just find anything because you're coming. You got to be mindful of like when you're going to these doctors or even coming to a reader for a reading. And remember, they're not a professional, and the doctors, they're not a lot of times spiritual. And find that thin line between, okay, I'm seeking professional help and I'm seeking spiritual help. And have your bullet points ready, have your topping points ready. Like, this is what I want. Have your questions ready when you go to these different spiritual or medical professionals. And truly be about that business and standing on business and getting help and not having things be sugar coated to you. Okay, when the truth is revealed of wherever your situation is, where you're standing. But before you even go ask for help, I would recommend that you guys are asking God, okay, for clarity, for those answers to those questions. Um, and you're breathing and you're doing the basic stuff you can do for your health, and tracking your emotions and journaling, even if you're mentally doing it, and be aware of like, okay, I'm having a mood swing right now, or I'm feeling some type of way, or I'm not. And oh shit, my period's coming. I'm just PMSing. Like, it's kind of giving that kind of vibe. I think some people are just like, yeah, breaking their own hearts, um, because they're so hurt from what has happened. A lot of people just hurt about what has happened in their waking life. Um, and it has really nothing to do with you. But yeah, stay tempered right now, you guys. I do actually think I'm gonna put this message out. And it's funny how I find it better that when I do a private live and then I actually post it, or I do I just record a video. It feels like this card, man, self I, like I'm in a protection bubble. And then when spirit or God tells me I can release the message, or I can, it's kind of like being in the house. Like, you guys have to know when to step out, when you're in a good mood and you're not. Like, check in with yourself, because like when you're not nourishing yourself, loving yourself, you don't act like how you usually do when you are on like 100%. So, and then that also relates to the fact that like if you know something's going on with you, or something's just really heavy, like you have to learn how to process things like more solo dolo with oneself before you go out asking or looking, seeking, caring, and help, support. You have to know how to care and support yourself. Know what you want, know what you need, know yourself, get to know yourself, so then you can know when you're, oh, I'm on my period, I'm tweaking, girl, versus, oh, nah, this is outside of my reality. I have no control over this person, place, or thing. Let me move forward with my attitude, because it's not me, it's them. This is a me versus them thing. Or this is how some of you guys can feel, like it's you versus the world. And I just feel like, yeah, some days it can feel like that, but you're actually doing way better than you think. My collective that's watching exactly. And we end off with the sun card and the world card at the top of the deck. So it's like I record it in private. I'm just using that as an example, right? And I feel very calm, like almost like nobody's watching me, and I can just say fluidly what I'm really feeling. Yes. And then when I'm ready to step out, full moon in Aquarius, I can show the real world myself. Show the real world you. And if you're having difficulties doing that, you could be a speaker, an intuitive of some sense. The more you get better at being real with you, looking in that mirror with you, going through those experiences you may not want to, but you have to, Jupiter energy, then you can get in alignment with your assignment on a whole new level to where you'll even know what ticks you off, your triggers, what helps you when somebody is trying to test you, bother you, and so you hurt your feelings versus when somebody is just like going through something, or yourself included, and it's really not like, if something happens, it's not that somebody's crazy or something's wrong with them, they're just hurt. And then you can delegate like the difference between truly evil and just truly good. Somebody who just said some bullshit and it was hurtful, but somebody who said some shit and it was, and maybe it was valid though it was hurtful, versus somebody who said something that was very vindictive, or they do something very vindictive, and now we can decide like, okay, somebody could be talking about their situation, and I think I'm by talking about this, it kind of relates to the title. It's like I'll be trying to give a message, but other people, just the moment they see the title of the video, they'll go projecting like all these other ideas about what I'm saying instead of just listening to the message. And this could have been hard for a lot of y'all to even show the real you, because it's like before you could even say this how you feel, everybody else had an opinion about it. And so, you have to be mindful of that. That other people's thoughts and feelings, sometimes they don't even belong to you. Sometimes they're not yours. And put up spiritual boundaries, or put up boundaries. Don't be afraid to have boundaries. This is such a deep message. I really can't say everything all in one. But yeah, I see you guys just getting justice overall, because you believed in the impossible, because you're not afraid to show the world the real you. But a part of showing the world the real you is also realizing the world a lot of times is fake as fuck and they're not real. So if somebody was trying to make you seem something like you're not, I see that becoming a win-win outcome for you, because it's like if some of you guys actually had to go to the doctor, go to a therapist, you're going to get help because you dealt with some really actual toxic people who don't want. That's a win. The other win around that is, even if there's nothing wrong with you, you go to the doctor, they're like, oh, you're good, da da da. You're like, okay, wow. I came here wasting my money for nothing. The other cool part about it, you're going to find out who's unbalancing your scales. And this is the point I'm getting to. Some of you guys have really good spiritual, mental, emotional boundaries to the point where, yeah, expect powerful change. Maybe that new moon really switched some things up for y'all. There's about to be so many changes or things happening. I think y'all have some people who really have an issue with you just being who you are. Yes, confidence is your key to success. That new moon in Leo, that I don't know if this is a family member or a friend. Like, yes, thank you, Spirit. Conclusions are within reach. You definitely, man, this message is so hard to deliver. But yeah, a new romantic cycle begins. I do think this is a big message relating around love, actually. Um, Sorry, I'm kind of jumbling the message up. It's just so hard to deliver, and maybe that's how you guys felt trying to speak to certain people who don't want to get help. It's like they project so much, you don't even know if you're talking to them or you're talking to the demon in them that's projecting onto you, that they're trying to say it's in you projecting on them, or it's just so funny how, like, when you become spiritual, how you'll just like not even relate to the same things you used to. And people will call you crazy for that because the world believes this, the world believes that. And because you decide to have one belief that's different, or one way, or a lifestyle, or something is completely opposing what the world is trying to test you and make you force onto you, like toxic Sagittarius energy, make you believe about yourself, trying to be an authoritative figure over your internal reality, you're all of a sudden something's wrong with you because you're not being a fucking robot. I see you guys getting justice from that. I feel like the collective is like collectively uproaring against injustices when it comes down to like love matters, mental matters, emotional matters, and people trying to say this is what will make you happy. No, bitch. If I say this person makes me happy, I want to live here. I want to look like this. That makes me happy. I'm not crazy because what gets you up in the morning, that don't get me up in the morning, but this gets me up in the morning. So I feel like a lot of you guys, I'm also hearing something about child abuse, child labor. There's something going on in the laws, or there's going to be some type of law that protects children from emotional or psychologically abusive parents, or parents with mental health issues who project onto their kids, or something about some type of evaluation that's going to be done to make sure like somebody can teach, or somebody can, I don't know, it's going to be something that happens that's actually going to be like a win-win for the ones who are actually doing the work. I think we're getting to a certain point where spirituality has become a trend, but now we're starting to actually see who's spiritual and who's not. And that can seem kind of scary, but this is actually a good thing because it's forcing people to kind of have to like get help and get in line with the real assignment that we're all here on this earth for, or just admit that they're demonic or something's wrong with them, or they're not here to help God's children. They're not here to change the world. They're not here to make sure everybody's happy and free. They're in the opposite energy. So yeah, there's a cycle that's closing, and there really is a new romantic cycle that's about to begin for a lot of y'all. You can be scared of this, but don't. Maybe somebody like heard rumors or gossip like about your mental health, or vice versa. You did with someone else, or you thought somebody thought you were crazy, or something was wrong with you, yada yada yada. Or vice versa, you thought something was wrong with someone. I feel like what I'm seeing here is if it's meant to be, it shall be. Um, and you're not crazy for wanting to be with somebody that you feel truly called to. But you guys are also not delusional. And so there's like this mask or this film or this cloud of depression or sadness, like guilt that wasn't even yours, being cleared off of you just because you love somebody, or just because you care for someone, or just because you want to live a certain lifestyle, or you believe these beliefs. I see you guys finding your tribe because you weren't afraid to show off the real authentic you, and also deal with the real authentic you, and not expect people to just deal with your raw authentic shit if you really are being shitty sometimes, because we all ain't shit. Sometimes we be acting up. But for the ones that's doing the work, I see you getting justice and getting conclusions and understanding why that person treated you that way. Why did that person project? Why did that person say this? And those people having to face the mirror in you because you've done the work and realize you're not their problem. None of each other are each other's problem. That's a big reason why I made this channel to 360 Tarot, because it's about you and what's going on with you, on your soul's journey, what you came here to do. It's not really about anyone else. So all these messages are going to do is just point to different areas in your life, your houses, your chart, the cycles, the moon phases, all the things that we're all collectively going through, and help the real ones access those hidden parts of themselves and let them out and get the keys from the universe and live their best life. But the ones who refuse to do the work and they want to project and they want to hate and they want to be truly evil and wicked, and there's no purpose for, I just heard something about war. There's no purpose for their strife that they create or the hell that they create for others. I see you guys getting justice and people having to admit to themselves, even if they were crazy as fuck with you, that you are not the problem. You are not the cause of their mental health. That has to do more with their parents or why they chose this life that they came here to live. You're not the reason for their mental health, their financial health, no aspect and no part of their life or reality. And this probably is a big message for karmics. Because I'm going to post another video, but I don't know when, on my other page. But yeah, just, I guess Spirit's just saying don't feel bad, don't be scared. The only foundations that's being unstabilized is those who want to unstabilize others and rock them to sleep and make them feel bad for being themselves, loving who they want to love. I'm getting a big energy around like the Civil War and like back in the day and racism. Just certain things have accumulated to the point where it's backfiring. Certain laws are like canceling themselves out. Um, it's something about like a big hypocrite energy. Like it's not what you say, it's not what you do, it's how you say it, and people realizing how you guys are doing things versus how others are doing things. Maybe this is a big clapback message for the people who have tried to make y'all seem crazy, like you had a mental illness, and this is like a big justice message. Like, no, that shit is being nipped in the bud. Like, even if it got bad where somebody tried to damn near like make you take some kind of medication or send y'all off somewhere or outcast you, bullied you to make you feel like something's wrong with you, like you're not cared and supported and helped. I see those who either been have either gotten an issue because of these people bullying them and attacking them and not helping them and just basically hazing and fucking destroying these people's self-esteem and confidence. Or I see like a group of y'all, like I see y'all getting aid and support out of those fucked up situations or relationships, even domesticated like home environments or circumstance situations y'all may be in. Freeing from y'all getting free from these toxic people you may live with or you work with or that are in your family, like something happening to clear the dust, or make things settle to get the wrong people out your life, or like them being phased out. And I feel like for some of y'all, you need to be absolutely fucking lucky that you're here, because I know a lot of young people watch my channel and you're realizing this so early on, because this could have been y'all. Some of these people who you actually witnessing who have an issue or whatever, or this, you may not even be young, and this is a message to say, can you, like, don't toot your own horn too much, but like humbly be grateful, like not humbly, but like have the humility and just be so fucking for real and grateful that like you're healthy. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with you. If you, I keep getting this vibe like some of you guys have been diagnosed with something that's, it's not real. Like they just wanted to get money out of you. Is you don't have an issue. You just need to meditate. I'm hearing that. You need to drink more water. You need to meditate. You need to eat better. You eat trash foods. You hang out with trash people, and then you wonder why you feel like trash. I don't know whose message that is. I don't care how good it looks on the outside. It's they're trash. Energetically, you deal with people on a regular who are trash. Okay? It's not about what it looks. It's about how it feels. And then there's another group of people. So this is no shade to people who are doing the work, or you got something and now you have to like heal or recover from it. I'm hearing something about antidepressants. Some of you guys are going to get off some type of medication when you stop hanging around this trash energy. And I heard some of y'all, your therapist said the same thing to you. Like those are not your friends or some shit like that, or your family sucks. Something weird. Like it's not you, it's them. And you need to get out of that you versus them, like you're gonna change these people. No, and just relocate or remove yourself, your energy. For some of y'all, though, you're lucky. That's what I was trying to say. Because you either were divinely guided out of the situation early or you listened sooner or whatever the fuck. But you didn't even have to go that far through a situation. You're being like, maybe some of us are guides for y'all. Our generation could be helping make sure that the younger generation don't have to go through this. Gen X or something like the Gen Z. So yeah, this message is really weird. I guess Spirit's trying to say whether you're on this side of the spectrum and you feel like you went through the worst of the worst with these crazy people who try to just make it seem like you're crazy and it's really them. And they're not on no real spiritual mission. They're not really a child of God. They don't really give a fuck about healing and doing the work and being a better person for the kids in the future. I believe the children are the future. You know, they're the ones who are drugged up and doing shit and then trying to keep you sedated so they can keep control over stuff. Also, there's a therapist who's hella sedated, and if they don't get what they want, they try to. There's a lot of therapists or psychiatric people who are into like psychology who do a lot of drugs. I heard, not like just weed or like smoking or drinking. I'm hearing there's a lot of psychologists or psychiatrics or psychiatrists who are like really depressed right now, or their mental health, they're going to therapy or they're getting medicated. Something's going on where like somebody's trying to keep somebody asleep or sedated so they can have power control. They're gonna go somewhere for that. I don't know, but yeah, I guess that's their karma.